Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Moving Truth with Pam. And I will be your host, Pam Nakpil. So today, I have another friend of mine who I met at work. And they're from this very nice, cool place called Brazil. And when I think of Brazil, before I let you introduce yourselves, I think of soccer.
Yes.
I think of that beautiful monument of Christ in the cartoons, Rio.
Right.
So I love that. The cartoons, Rio 1 and Rio 2.
The parrot.
Oh,
They're the
the parrot.
parrot.
Yeah.
They're not parrots, they're the blue,
Right. The blue.
I forgot. I
What
will
is the
get
name?
to know that later on.
Kind of.
But we have lots of parrots.
Okay,
Yeah.
and welcome today our guests, Fatima and Paulo. And if
Thank
you
you.
can please introduce yourselves to our guests.
Of course, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fatima. I'm from Brazil, as Pam was saying. I have been in New Brunswick for about almost 6 years. Gonna be next February. And I work in a settlement agency, but previously I have a travel business background.
Okay, Paulo.
Okay. My name is Paulo. I'm 54 years old, and I'm living here with my wife for almost 6 years. My background is travel agencies and hospitalities, and I used to work with franchising stores, like selling travel agencies.
Okay. So I
back in
guess that's how you
Brazil.
met.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Was there.
A
You
long
met at
time ago.
work, a long time ago. So, okay, you said almost 6 years in February. I think we arrived almost at the same time. We
I
are
think so.
going to turn 6 years next year as well. So, 6 years. You mentioned you were 54.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's something you don't ask women, but men obviously want to divulge their ages.
Oh, yeah.
So 54. Usually when people migrate, it's in the 20s, 30s.
Yes.
And I hear you because that's the same thing that happened to us. So what happened? What were you doing in Brazil that suddenly one day you said,
Enough.
I want to go elsewhere? So what were you doing first in Brazil?
I think
Like
we
this-
were bored.
This
We were.
Like describe what your daily
We've-
routine was. What were you doing? What you said you had a travel agency. What was it?
I think it was kind of the kids were grown-ups, almost, and we were looking for something different. We were working. I was working in a travel agency. I think Paulo was working in a travel
same
agency
thing.
as well.
Okay.
And we wanted to do something different. We did live in the States for a while back in the day, and we
For
wanted
5
to
years.
go to a better place. That's why we decided Canada would be a good.
But wasn't it hard, Paolo? Like when you've been working for some time, you're established, you're in a country, a city that's familiar to you.
Yes.
Like, isn't it scary in a way to suddenly just decide, I want something different, go to another country, start again?
Yeah, I mean, we tried this before. Was in 2005. 2005, we tried that before. We went to U.S. In Orlando, Florida.
Oh, that's a nice
And-
place to go to.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice place
Yeah.
to.
And then we stayed there for 5 years. I just opened a small company. Like
Okay.
I was a contractor
Okay.
for Lowe's, Home Depot,
Okay.
and I learned how to install floors, hardwood
Oh.
floors.
Yeah.
And actually, I love it to do those things.
I may need your help one of these days.
I used to love it, but then everything changes in the world. We have like after that the Twin Towers,
Oh,
the September 11. Yeah.
So
and
everything
then-
changed for you.
And
Right.
then everything changes.
Wow, that's a big blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened to your business in the U.S.? Like,
we
what?
everything stopped
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
because in that time, nobody wants to do floors anymore.
Nobody wants to build, probably.
Right.
No building, no, everything stopped.
Wow.
So then
Yeah.
I mean, we were waiting for 5 months, maybe more, but then we decided. Okay,
Yeah, after a while,
let's
my
go
son had
back
an
and-
issue with a heart issue as well,
Okay.
a health issue, and then we decided to go back to Brazil.
Yeah, was everything
That's
together.
even, that's a brave thing to have done. To
Right.
go from Brazil, try it out in the US, and 9/11 happens, health scares, go back to Brazil. What did you do when you got back?
We started all over again, right?
We went back to
Okay.
the travel
good-
agency.
Yeah, the good thing is that it's since your city, your people, your friends, you know people.
Okay.
So
know
it's
people, yeah.
a little bit easier to
Easier.
get back.
And
on
it's your home
feet.
country, right?
Exactly.
So everything is easier.
That didn't scare you to try again?
Of
I mean,
course.
I would have been so scared.
Of
It's like I
course.
did it once, never again.
Of course, and we know that it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
It's
No.
not easy.
So why did you decide? I mean, you were bored, everything, but what was the clincher? What was the reason that you said, okay, done this once, didn't quite make it. Why? What was the decision to be brave again to do it?
I think it's the feeling to look for something better.
And better in what sense?
I'm not. I can't say that Brazil is not a good place or not a good country or city. Nothing like that. But as we were saying, it's a big city. Lots of traffic, lots of crime, and lots of
everything is
political issues.
too much.
Oh my gosh.
Too much people,
it's like
too
you're
much
talking
traffic,
about
too much.
Where I came from, so it's I see a lot of
Like-
similarities.
Yeah.
2 hours to get from point A to point B, and you lose all your time.
Yeah.
And
You lose time, you lose patience.
I'm like
Everyone
interviewing
is-
myself and my husband here.
exactly.
So I know what you mean. But like one day you said, why Canada? Why New Brunswick? Like the US, Orlando, I'd understand. I mean, sign me up for Disney World every day. But
Right.
like New Brunswick, where did you hear about New Brunswick?
Um,
Mountain.
We came for visiting Montreal previously because this travel
Oh,
business background,
yes.
sometimes we
Gets
have
you.
opportunities.
Yeah.
And then we fell in love with Canada. And he was in
I
Toronto,
was in Toronto,
once
Toronto for a week,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a long time ago. And I was saying to my wife, okay, if I used to like USA,
Okay.
but then I thought Canada is an USA with an upgrade.
too. That's how we felt.
That's a nice thing to say
Yeah.
because I just heard, I was watching Border Security Services last night, and there was this guy who was said, "Oh, I just thought Canada was an extension of the U.S."
No, it's not.
No, it's
No.
not. So,
No,
but
it's
you know, it's a nice thing to hear from someone.
Yeah.
You know what they think about Canada. So Canada is an upgrade, as you think. But why Moncton? I mean, I've never heard of
Well,
Moncton before.
we-
Oh,
We moved
right,
here.
right. We first went to Vancouver
Okay.
because our younger son was doing some studies over
Okay.
there, and we heard about New Brunswick because of the immigration process.
Okay.
Because New Brunswick has the Atlantic immigration program,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is I wouldn't say easier, but
No,
faster
It
than
was faster.
other provinces.
This,
And
this is so funny. It's like I'm listening to myself. Go ahead. I'm
Yes.
like hearing it from someone who's
Exactly.
gone through the same thing as
Yeah,
I
and-
have.
And we were like, okay, if we're here, so let's
try.
Let's try it. And
So
that's
you
what
were
we
in
did.
Vancouver, applied for under the Atlantic Immigration Program in 2018 when it was new.
Yeah.
Right.
Where did you go? Like who hired you? What was the process of you?
Then in that time, Fatima was at the NBCC.
Yes, I applied
was-
for a
is-
student
Oh,
visa, and
you
I
stu-
went back to school,
Oh, you
Yes.
studied
which
again.
was everything new, which
Everything.
was really cool because I was doing a hotel management,
Management,
which
okay.
is something that I knew a little bit,
Yeah,
but
customer service, travel.
Yeah.
right, but not in Canada.
But,
So, and then he was supposed to get a working visa.
Visa.
Yeah.
Visa.
because she was the student,
Student?
Yes.
and
Okay.
I was the working one.
And you did get your.
Yeah, and actually it was really fast because the first week that we were
He
here,
got a job offer
I got a job offer from
Where?
4 Points Hotel.
Wow.
from a hotel.
So you worked at 4 Points for some time.
But of course they didn't help me with the
With the
whole
application.
resume, and because my resume was almost everything about travel agency
Okay.
and
And
airline
brands.
companies,
Yeah.
and then I didn't have any experience in hotel.
So it,
So then I started from the bottom, cleaning
Wow.
rooms
oh wow.
with
I
49.
know it's, at 49 you
Yeah.
were cleaning rooms. How did it feel, Paulo?
In the
having
beginning,
all these experience back home.
in the beginning, I was like, okay, I was happy because we
We're here.
find a way to start,
Right.
and I was like, okay, I'm gonna show them that I can do and I'm able to do way more than
More.
just cleaning rooms. And then I start growing. After 6 months, I was invited to be like a supervisor, and then another month and a half, my housekeeping manager, she asked me to be like a assistant housekeeping manager,
Wow.
and then I stayed there for the whole process.
4 years,
Wow.
I guess, right?
Almost 5. Yeah,
Wow.
4 years and
So
a half.
what did you eventually end up at? Housekeeping.
I
Assistant
end
manager?
up as assistant general manager.
That's
from
quite a
Four Points.
job.
Yeah.
So, and that's I appreciate that, and I like that story, because I always think that even if you have to start from scratch, if you're that kind of a person, you'll eventually get to where you need to be.
Oh
right?
yes,
Right.
because I'm like this. I mean, if I know that I can do better, I'm gonna show them. There's no way to show like
Yeah, except to do it, right?
except to do it.
So was there ever a point in time that you said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going back to Brazil, and like, I'm okay there.
There was a days that was like the job was really hard and
Yeah.
people leaving the job and quitting, and then I started learning how things
Worked.
and
I-
then was like some frustration because I was like, okay, how can people doesn't show up to work?
And you have to do
From
everything.
nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because you
Frustrating.
know, I mean, at the hotel we need to have like 10 housekeepers
Yeah.
every day, and if you miss like 2 or 3,
You'll
you
do
are in a bad
20
shape.
rooms more,
Yeah.
right?
Instead doing 12, 14, you're gonna do 12, 20,
And
25.
I can totally relate. I came
So-
here
Yeah.
for a hotel as well. So
Oh,
a
yeah.
hotel hired me under the AIP, and it was like a lot of sob stories. I mean,
Yeah.
the hotel management was great, but it was not the work I was used to. So it's
Yeah.
very
Quite
different, very
different.
different.
It's very different.
And now you, a student at 49. How did that feel? How was it?
It was amazing. The funny thing was that my younger son was doing NBCC as well.
So
So
were you
It
classmates?
was so funny. No, we were not
Different
classmates,
one?
but it was so funny. And his friends would say, "Your mom?
Your mom's here.
Seriously? Well, she doesn't look like your mom." And I was like, "Oh, that's
yes.
that part I like."
That part I
But it was
like.
nice, sharing experience and things that was going on in the college environment. It was pretty cool.
I know. I'm sure
Yeah.
his classmates thought you were pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Like your mom's there in school with
Sometimes
you.
he was hiding, but usually he was okay.
But was it hard to
It was
like
hard.
start again? Like your classmates would have been like in their 20s or
Right,
20s,
right.
30s, yeah.
And some people immigrating as well.
Yeah.
So they were more aged than,
Yeah.
than
More
that.
aged.
Yeah, but it was fun.
So how long before you became permanent residents? I mean, how long was the process after you finished school?
It was
Wow.
long because of COVID. We
And then we
applied
had the COVID.
a,
and
a
the-
week. We applied for permanent residency a week prior. Then they closed everything.
Oh
So
my
it took
goodness.
like 2 years.
Wow. But you are
Right.
now.
Yes.
I'm a citizen now.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the feeling? How's the feeling?
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice.
It's like,
It's nice.
woof, it's done.
I know. Something.
You
out-
can look back and say, okay, we
yeah,
did it.
We did it. We
It
did
was
it.
worth it.
Yeah. Is there anything you miss back home? Is there anything that
Everything.
like what? Like what?
Oh, the family, the
Yeah.
food, the friends.
There's a lot.
But still, I think like Canada is not like a hotel, right? It's a place that you come to stay.
Yeah, you can build roots again.
Yes.
Exactly. So then home will be the hotel now. So we go once in a year and
right.
see everybody, and have the food that we miss and we can find, and that's
Yeah, I miss the
usually
food
how
too.
it goes.
So what do you do now? You said you were working in a settlement agency. What do
Correct. I'm a volunteer coordinator. I've been doing this for
you do? I should know. Probably 2 years.
almost 2 years. Yes.
How are you enjoying yourself? Like as an immigrant working in a settlement agency, how does it feel?
Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's tough because you get in touch with lots of history, especially at Magma, because we have the clients usually are refugees, and the stories are tough.
Painful,
Sometimes
yeah,
they're painful, but it's good to know that you're helping in
Yeah.
every
Sometimes when you
small
think
ways, right?
you have pain, imagine what they go
Exactly.
through, right? What do you do now, Paulo?
Well, now I'm in between jobs because I had a situation like a year ago. I just start feeling something weird in my ear,
Okay.
and then after a few months and doctors and tests and everything, I found out that I had like a sudden hearing loss in my
Wow.
left ear.
Is it tinnitus? No, it's different.
And tinnitus, plus tinnitus.
Oh wow. So you can hear like
In this
The
side,
sound.
only the
Sound,
buzzing sound,
yeah.
the ringing, like 24 hours, no stopping,
I know, I have a friend.
but no hearing at all.
Oh wow. So if this happened to you back home, what would be the difference? Like medically, having all the medical.
Probably I have the opportunity to maybe have a little bit more hearing now, because here it took like a lot.
The health
to-
system,
to-
it's
The whole system takes like times and months to see me, and I was almost crying, telling them, listen,
Yeah.
I can hear, and there
Yeah.
is the buzzing. Yeah, but you have to wait. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you have to wait.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
was
one
like,
of the realities we have here. I mean,
Exactly.
it's free, but it's a
Yeah.
waiting game.
This is
So, well, I hope people who are listening get to understand that. And it's not just our battle cry, I
No.
guess. It's
No.
everyone in the system
Yeah.
No,
having
it's
some
everyone, yeah.
concerns about how the medical system is working against us right now, right?
yeah.
If you had to do it over again, would you do it
yes,
all
Yes.
over again?
yes, for
Yes.
sure.
Really?
Really.
So you said you had
Maybe not at this age.
to. You know
Maybe
what?
If I
You're
could
right.
make it to 44,
You know what? You're right. That's what I
Yes.
keep on thinking. I mean, I'm telling my
Maybe
daughters.
in our 30s.
Yeah, if I had to do it over again, I would have done it earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, because like, who migrates at 50?
right?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess just the four of us.
Yeah.
Probably, or if you are a person migrating at 50, let us know.
Okay.
I mean, it's different. You don't have points for anything. And I'm happy about the Atlantic Immigration Program. It's
Yes.
one great pathway.
Yeah.
And what I noticed about Canada, they don't really, I mean, they appreciate you more for what you can do rather than your age.
Right.
I think it's a very
Yeah.
good, like practice they have. You are free to apply wherever, as long as you're capable to do it.
Exactly.
What did you have another son? Is he here now?
Yes.
Yes.
So what happened there?
Well, he applied for the express entry,
Okay.
and he was invited by the province.
Wow.
Now he's just waiting to see how it goes, but he's very excited.
So how did it feel like leaving him? Because also left our eldest daughter back
Oh,
home.
it's not easy.
It is not easy.
no.
How does it feel?
And with the COVID, he was back in
He
Brazil
was in bad shape.
alone.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
and we were here. So.
But the thing is, when we left, he was, okay, you
Yeah.
just go and I'll follow you guys,
Yeah.
right?
He
But
was
when
like,
it-
no,
it's
go
gonna be
there
just a
and
little
I'm
while.
gonna
That's
follow
good. He
you.
encourages.
Yeah.
He encouraged you as well.
And then COVID hit.
Then that was when it became harder.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
when
Because
they can have.
the worry that your family's not here, I don't know. For me, I think one of the worries of an immigrant, correct me if I'm wrong, is like if something happens back home to
And
family,
you're far away,
right?
right?
And you are
You're
So
far.
it's like it's not like you can hop on a bus or drive your car, and
No.
you're there.
You have to.
What advice would you give people who are wanting to migrate to Canada, to Moncton, to New Brunswick, especially at the young age of our age?
Breathe,
Read.
because it takes time.
Yeah. And
It's not as easy as we think,
no.
but at the end of the day, it is worth.
And you have to save a lot of money to come
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Don't think you're gonna
Yeah.
save like a few buckets and okay, then I can start working because this is not gonna work like
Yeah.
this.
Keep
You
up
have
with.
to you have to make a plan.
Yeah.
You have to save money. You have to try to look for what are you gonna do, because normally here in Canada they don't care about your resume. I don't know if the word is they don't care, but doesn't matter if you have a lot of experience
Degrees,
in
whatever.
one position. You're not gonna have like the same position here.
Yes,
True.
just be prepared.
Yeah.
So be prepared because you're not
To
gonna
start
have
from
the same.
scratch.
You have to
Especially-
go down and go up again and show them that you
do it.
can do it.
I know. That
Keep
was
up
one.
This
with
is
the
the-
government website, right? With
Yeah.
immigration.
Yeah,
and-
this is the hardest.
It's hard, yeah.
Yes.
When you're established, I think that's one of the hardest things for people who are more mature
Mm-hmm.
when they migrate. It's
Yeah.
because I'm basically done, right?
Mhm.
I'm okay, and then suddenly, thing in the ear, you go and say,
Yeah.
"I want a new adventure," and then you go out, right? And you said something very important. I think people think that when they migrate, you'll find you'll eventually work it out here with finances.
Mhm.
I think people need to understand that you have to have something saved
Right.
a bit.
Yeah, you have to have something
To be safe.
Yeah,
to be safe, for your rent, for your car.
Exactly. So
Like
many
here
things.
in Moncton is hard with
True.
The housing.
the housing market is it's higher and higher, but I mean about the
Traveling. within
traveling
Moncton.
inside.
It's
I mean,
harder.
you
It's
don't
harder.
have like bus from everywhere. It's just a few places that you
I
can
know,
use a
I
bus.
know. So transportation. Well, the
Transportation
city is
is-
growing.
It's
So
growing.
city is
it's
yeah,
growing.
the city is
Yeah.
growing. I think there's room for growth,
Oh,
especially for
yes.
schooling, for
Oh, yes.
education, so many things. And I think the country just needs the city or New Brunswick just needs to get itself more prepared
More prepared.
because more people are coming.
Yes. Oh yes, for sure.
So, in parting, how do you feel about being citizens of Canada? How do you feel about really overall being here?
I think it's amazing. I just applied for my, it's recent. I just applied for my passport. I'm waiting for it.
Oh.
So I'm so excited to get a passport. And, I was
Wow.
telling him I'm going to go to the U.S. just to show my passport.
I'm going to Europe. Well, yeah, it's 2.5 hours away. We can go to
Yeah.
Maine, right?
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's-
It's a feeling that you accomplish something that you
Accomplish.
were planning a long
I
time
know.
ago.
You can just, as you said, breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
With that, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Fatima.
us.
Thank you, Paulo.
Oh,
I
thanks
really
for-
appreciate
Yeah.
your time. It was like I was looking at a mirror
Oh my goodness.
and hearing
yes.
my story.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
It was a
I
pleasure.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So with that, everyone, it was nice to have seen and met Paulo and Fatima. And on to our next episode with our Moving Truth with Pam. See you. Bye.